If you're newly betrayed or just recently decided to reconcile, you may find this class this particular class a tad frustrating. That said, if you're currently single, this tip is something to hold on to for your next potential relationship. So, do you feel deeply connected with your partner and that there's nobody else on the planet you'd rather be with? Or do you sometimes look at your partner and wonder where the excited feelings have gone? Have you lost motivation you once had to make plans together and envision a future? You ask yourself more often than you'd like to admit whether this person is even right for you. You sometimes fantasize about what it would be like to break up or start all over with somebody new. These are important feelings you need to pay attention to because in a truly connected relationship, you should feel pretty happy with your partner, overall content. You should feel free to be yourself while also having the burning desire to be with your partner. This isn't a pie in the sky thinking. You really should feel powerfully in tune with your beloved. You should feel deeply understood and appreciated. You should feel as if you're right where you want to be. Although there's nothing wrong with wanting to strive towards being better. If you don't want to, I want to give you a specific tip. Like I said at the beginning of this class, it's something that you already know. It's common sense. You've heard it 1,000 times. Just want to bring it to the forefront. If you apply it, this tip is going to make a world of difference in how you feel connected with your partner. I'm going to be asking you to try something that you may not have thought about, haven't been able to, or haven't seen a good example of, or it's just difficult to execute. Something that has the power to transform your relationship into a dream partnership. However, you can't play the game if you're not in it. So it may be tempting to think about what life would be like without your partner, and we've all been there, especially after betrayal. Your mind may run with fantasies about what it would be like to bump into someone new or from your past and just rekindle things and start all over again. Trust me, I get it. After coaching many couples and singles, I can tell you that most people who decide to reconcile and work hard at it ultimately are glad they did. And again, some people just can't reconcile. I get that. That's respected as well. You can break up with your partner, move on to someone new, but keep in mind there's no guarantee that down the road a few years you won't be back at square one. I'm not going to derail. I'm just going to keep on going. This is not to say reconciliation is for everyone or that reconciliation in your particular situation is even healthy. That is you and your life and up to you alone. When I work with couples who are absolutely, truly on board with moving forward and willing to do the hard work, I first ask them to make a renewed commitment to one another. This is one of the ways to determine whether or not the relationship can actually work. Otherwise, having one foot out the door will practically guarantee your current relationship cannot be saved, and that you'll most likely repeat your negative pattern with the next partner. While coaching, if I hear he or she is struggling in their relationship, they just tell me. Couples sometimes will come into me and say, something is just off. I can't pinpoint it. And I'll go through a battery of questions like, what's your love language? Do you know your partner's love language? Do you guys have a gratitude journal, that you apply to one another? I ask them a battery of questions. But if they still can't pinpoint what the exact issue is, or we can't together, I ask them, how honest are you with your partner? I mean, honest about everything. Have you held anything back from your partner? Now, I don't mean things that you keep private. There's secrets and there's things you keep private. Those are two different things. I'm not asking you to reveal all your private thoughts and what you consider private, but are you keeping secrets? There is a difference. Do you open up to him or her the way that you do a trusted friend? When you've been hurt, do you speak up about it or do you withhold affection? Displaying honesty in a relationship doesn't mean that you must reveal every thought or share every secret with your spouse. There are plenty of reasons to keep things to yourself. You may choose to hold back potentially hurtful opinions, your private thoughts, or information that would betray a promise to a friend who asked you to keep something confidential. You also have the right to stick to vague answers if you don't feel comfortable sharing that information. When it comes to honesty in relationships, remember all of the good reasons to be honest. So ask yourself, what are all the good reasons to be honest? If you're inclined to withhold information, ask yourself, am I keeping this a secret, like I asked you before, or am I keeping something private? Because like I said, there is a difference. However, time and again, I found that when a couple is in trouble, one or both couples or partners are hiding their truth. Unfortunately, as you may very well know, from a betrayal. Are you afraid of telling your partner what's really in your heart and soul? And this applies to your partner as well. Are they conscientiously honest? There are many reasons why you might be hesitate to be completely honest or transparent with your partner. You may fear that your partner will leave you if they know everything about you, or they'll judge you, or they'll pull away, or what have you. But in all honesty, my experience and studies show otherwise. The most powerful thing couples can do to revive a dying relationship is to share their absolute authentic truth. And it's the only thing that will keep it alive and thriving, or it's one of the main key components, should I say, of keeping a relationship alive and thriving. When you heroically embrace your fear and tell your partner your unadulterated truth, you break down an enormous wall, because not being authentic creates a barrier, one that gets bigger over time, taller and wider. Unfortunately, as you may very well know firsthand from a betrayal, if you've experienced one in your relationship. You may have also chosen to keep certain things to yourself, or to downplay your feelings and preferences, or simply choose not to speak up when you don't like something. You thought you were doing this for the sake of the relationship, but this will ultimately backfire on you if it hasn't already. Not telling the truth is like slow poison for a relationship. Not telling the truth, no matter how small you think the issue is, will gradually kill intimacy and connection in your relationship. And as I always say, pebbles make mountains, raindrops make seas. These small little tiny secrets that we keep, that we think, we're doing for the greater good of the relationship, they ultimately build, and then resentment comes in and so forth. The truth always needs to come out, bottom line. You will feel the urge to reveal your truth, but you may do it with someone else, possibly by becoming more emotionally intimate and honest with someone other than your partner. And unfortunately, this is what some of you may have experienced with your spouse if they've had an emotional affair. And side note, if this is the case and you're reconciling, please have your partner watch or listen to this class. Any truths withheld from one another creates a wall. And like I said, over time, that wall gets taller and wider. Things have a tendency to fester, and things that fester grow. I'm sure you've heard bacteria grows in dark places, and secrets are like bacteria. Again, not things you choose to keep private, secrets. You'll feel the disconnection in every interaction. Even when they're in the same room with you, you'll feel alone. And that's sad. When you're with somebody or married to somebody and you feel alone, that's a good indicator that there's some honesty missing, intimacy in the relationship. I hope some of this information is not too triggering for those that have experienced an emotional affair. I just want to put that out there. Even though the wall is wide, it can be toppled. And the way you do it is with truth. I've seen miraculous transformations even when one partner bravely opens up about his or her truth. The wall comes down and intimacy comes rushing back. I know it can be scary to speak your truth. You'll feel as if you're completely exposing yourself and putting your relationship at risk, and your vulnerabilities, quote, out there. But not speaking your truth is so much riskier. It takes courage and guidance to be truthful. And to share the kind of truth that can revive a seemingly dead relationship. Again, let me stress, this complete honesty must come from both partners for this to be effective. Now, let me quickly give you some of the benefits of relationship honesty. Honesty promotes authenticity. It shows you care. It creates a circle of love. It shows maturity and self-acceptance. It fosters a connection, respect, and courage. It feels exhilarating because it's so freeing. It eliminates garbage. It attracts honesty. So if you're honest with your partner, that's going to encourage them to be honest with you. It keeps you out of trouble. It reduces your partner's stress. It's great for your health. Think about it. If you're always honest, you don't have to remember what you said. You're just always honest. So let me ask, and this is a way to ask how honest you are as an individual. Are your actions predictable and congruent with your stated positions? Do you follow through on your promises and avoid making excuses? Is your behavior dependable? Do you respond truthfully, authentically to constructive criticism? This one's a biggie, one of the ones I'm still working on, and I'm almost 50 years old. How do you treat confidants? Are you trustworthy? How do you express negative information? Under what circumstances do you lie? What do you consider a white lie? Do you exaggerate the positive and diminish the negative? Is your behavior consistent with your stated views and values, even when no one's watching? Do you take responsibility for your mistakes, your omissions, and your shortcomings? Do you make others' best interests equally important to your own? These are just some of the questions to ask yourself for a reflective practice on what is your own honesty belief system, or how honest are you as an individual. Lastly, I want to say the more you've been hiding or keeping a secret, the more of a dramatic transformation you'll experience in your relationship. That's not to say that you're going to share all your secrets with your partner and they're like, yes, thank you for unleashing all of these secrets. I feel so good now. No, there might be a little storm before the rainbow, but when all comes out, it's a fresh start. It's a new start. It's a great start with honesty, built on trust and honesty. One brave, heroic move into honesty shifts the entire dynamic of a relationship. You'll experience levels of intimacy and understanding that you didn't even think were possible. Both of you will start seeing things from a new perspective and connecting on a truly authentic level. Simply put, a truly fulfilling partnership is only possible with heroic honesty. Truth and honesty is relationship CPR, really. However, both parties, again, must be on board and honor those goals, that they're going to be honest and truthful and transparent with one another. Now, for those of you watching this class or listening to it thinking, there's no way I'm going to completely put myself out there right now for many different reasons, that's fine. I understand that. I get that. I accept it. I respect it. If you can't eat the whole apple today, maybe just take a bite. Put your toe in the water, and see what happens with honesty.